So let's go ahead and draw the slabs for this project. But first let me go ahead and readjust the colors of these beams so they don't look too flashy in the eye. So I'm just going to clear the color. And this is how they will change. Very well, and now we can begin with drawing the slabs. You see, based on the project's details that we've checked out, we understood that we needed to place 3 centimeter slabs over the waffles. In other words, now that the waffles are 29 centimeters, we've set 24 centimeters for this part, then 8 centimeters up here, which makes it 29 centimeters. So now we are left with 3 centimeters. That's 3 out of 32. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to be placing 3 centimeter thick floors on these waffles. And as for the parts where there aren't any waffles, then the floor would have to fill this entire thickness. So it's going to be 32 centimeters. Basically, I'm going to need 2 floors, and it's pretty simple. I'm going to go over to Revit, and then I'm going to select floor, then duplicate this type. And as for the name of this duplicate, I'm going to put, for example, waffle slab. Okay, so then I'm going to go over here to specify the thickness for it. That's 3 centimeters. So there goes one floor, and now we're going to make another, which is going to be near slab. This is a slab that is 32 centimeters thick. And there we go. Alright, so let's go back to that first waffle slab and include its thickness and its name as well. So it's 3 centimeters. Now all that's left for us to do is to go over here and to begin drawing. So I'm going to go over to the parts where there are waffles and draw the rectangle over them as the slab. And also, if you're wondering if we could draw the slabs over the waffles individually or collectively, we could just go with the latter. So we can go ahead and draw the slabs on the waffles in one go. And this is what I mean by that. For example, I'm going to draw one of the rows for you. And then we've got this one which goes all the way here, from which we're going to also need to exclude this little part. Alright, so another line goes over here, and then I'm going to trim these lines together. Then I'm going to grab the Align tool to align these together, as well as this line down here. Then there's also these lines, and then I'm going to split this line here. And after that, I'm going to trim the corners. So that's it. Now let's go check it out in the 3D view. And this is how it should look. Okay, so now if I try to expand the section box from the sides, like so, then we could also take a look at the rest of the slabs. So as simple as that, you need to place the slabs over the areas where you've got the waffles. Now, other than this, there are some parts where there aren't any waffles included. We just don't have any waffles on some parts, and that just means that we're going to need to draw 32 centimeter thick slabs on those areas. Like, you're going to need to draw a slab all over with thickness of 32. And also for that, you're just going to have to take the floor command and draw your slabs. Now, it is best that you try to draw one of these slabs over here. For example, one that is 32 centimeters thick, or basically anything else. And for drawing the next slab, you could just copy the sketch of the previous slab you've drawn and paste it for the next to speed up your process. So for now, I'm going to draw and fast forward through the parts of drawing the slabs over the waffles. And after that, we're going to get to drawing the slabs on parts with no waffles to save time. Alright, so as you can see, I've drawn the slabs on these waffles, and these are actually the slabs of this level which have been drawn using the same floor on the parts with waffles on them. So here's the result so far. Now the reason why I decided to finish one of them first was because now I can go ahead and easily just drag over the area, then copy the whole thing. And for the next floor I'm going to be drawing, which also goes between these parts with the waffles, I'm just going to paste that over there so I wouldn't have to draw it all over again. Do you see how easier it is now? Now I can easily continue drawing around the area on the parts where I'm going to be needing waffles. So now the question is, how can we do that? First, we can grab the rectangle shape and begin drawing the floor from here all the way down to the opposite corner. There we go. Now once again we could exclude the parts where we don't need to have the floor. For example, on voids like this, I'm going to have to trim them out of the floor. Do you see how easier this way is? So don't waste your time drawing everything all over again. If you just follow what I showed you, that'll definitely speed up your process big time. So for example, I'm going to exclude these ducts because clearly we don't need slabs on them. So you'll just have to exclude some parts, as well as these staircase boxes. Not to mention that the staircase footpaces do have the slabs on, so for example, you're going to have to exclude here to here. Something like this. Alright, so we've got another void on here as well. So I'm going to exclude them. And we've got the ramp here. And you see, I just noticed that I haven't drawn the slab on here. So while checking out the area, I realized I missed these waffles. So I'm going to draw the slabs on them, and I'm going to edit it later if necessary. So this line goes down here, and I'm going to fast forward this part of the video because as you can see, it's simply just line selection around the waffles. So I'm going to go ahead and finish them, and we're going to come back and see the finished result. Alright, so here goes the slabs on parts where we didn't have any waffles. And as you can see, we've drawn a 32 centimeter thick slab, which we also know that it has different concrete from the other parts. And so this is how we could draw the slabs for our project. And now that we've finished them, if I go over to one of the elevations, then we can see them better and just how the result looks. So for example, I'm going to open the east elevation, and here we are. So if I shade the display style, then over here you can see the slab we've drawn over the waffles. Do you see the layer? You can also see that its top offset goes up to the structure, and we've got the other waffles like so. Do you see this part? Here we've got that 32 centimeter thick slab, where as you can see we don't have waffles. So this is what we've got now, and it looks exactly like what we had in the details, and we drew the slabs accordingly. I'll show you the finished result of all the slabs in all levels in the end. So as you can see over here, we have the complete version of all the slabs in the project. We've placed as many as we needed for all the levels, and we've got 32 centimeter thick slabs as well as the ones on the waffles. And as you can see, the structure is almost finished, and we've added the required details. So as we go further, we're going to get to the architectural part of the project, and we will begin the architectural modeling.